Welcome to Under the Microscope. This series is brought to you by the Real Scientists Nano team. Our goal is to provide a platform where scientists can communicate their work and interact with the public. With that in mind, every week we introduce you to a scientist working in the field of materials and nanoscience, who would be curating the RealSci_Nano Twitter account.
Hi everyone. Today we have with us Sofia Masi, who is a researcher at the Institute of Advanced Materials at University of Jaume I in Spain, very close to Valencia. So, hi Sofia, welcome to Real Scientist Nano. How are you?
Hi, Pranoti. I'm fine, and you? It's
I'm
my
good.
pleasure to be here today.
We are delighted to have you here. So let's talk more about you as a scientist, your science. So, starting with your scientific journey so far. So, tell us about your career journey.
Oh, great. Okay, I decided to opt chemistry as major subject once I decided my university career. I
Mhm.
studied in Pisa, a beautiful city in which Galileo Galilei spent his life. Doesn't need any introduction, I guess.
Mhm.
But it was my first class of chemistry at secondary school when chemistry did something to me. It made me fall in love with it, and I couldn't resist it.
Mhm.
I had questions, and chemistry was answering all of them in that time. I found it challenging, exciting, fun. So I decided to opt for chemistry in that time. Then after 5 years in Pisa studying chemistry, I chose a PhD at CNR Nanotech in Lecce in Italy. It's a PhD in nanotechnologies and in the Department of Physics of the university. And I did this choice because I was driven by the opportunity to make a positive impact on the energy needs and sustainable development of future generation. It was really fun in that moment to work and grow in such an innovative and fast-changing environment, because I work on photovoltaic and for the development of perovskite-based technology. And it was like an adventure shared by all the scientists of this field, because the perovskite solar cells are a revolution in the context of renewable energy and photovoltaics, because their efficiency improved day by day, and it was very, very exciting. Um, then I moved in 2018 in Spain to
Mhm.
work at the Institute of Advanced Material in Castellón de la Plana, close to Valencia.
Mhm.
And I have learned, and I learned so much in the time that I work here from the wide array of backgrounds that my colleagues have. In fact, everyone is happy to share their experience and their expertise. And also my group is very supportive in making my work fit in with the needs of my family. And but as chemistry, I work in the laboratory, always with a very exciting project. But also as a researcher, I have been able to write my findings in first level journal alongside my work as mom of two. And this is good because of the flexible working hours that has meant I can easily balance my work and home life.
Mhm.
And finally, I'm looking for a permanent position to start my independent research. And this is my journey so far.
Okay. Wow. Wow. That's really cool that the chemistry was answering all your questions. I love
Yeah.
that part. That chemistry was just I was asking questions and chemistry was answering the questions I had. I love that part. Well, it sounds like an amazing career journey so far, and I hope you get the permanent position soon, very very soon. Uh, so
I have
my
to,
next
but okay, I'm happy in this moment. But you know, everyone would improve in his career. So let's see.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm sure you're happy right now, but it's always good to have the permanent position as well. It's always like it's just one thing off the list you can just completely then focus on science, right? That's what you want to do. So speaking of science, so you did speak a little bit about it in the short podcast, but So your current research, where and how does it fit in this big picture of materials and nanoscience, in this big puzzle? Where does it fit in?
Okay, nanoscience and technology is a branch of science that studies system and manipulates matter on atomic, molecular, and supramolecular scales,
Mm-hmm.
in particular the nanometric scale. Because on such length scale, quantum mechanical and surface boundary effects become relevant, conferring properties on materials that are not observable on larger macroscopic length scale. No? So the
Mm-hmm.
core of my work is the perovskite material, and in fact, for example, perovskite nanocrystals are considered one of the most sustainable material for the development of new generation solar cells and optoelectronic devices. So
Mm-hmm.
the core of my research, the perovskite material, is fall completely in the nanoscience topic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as photovoltaic technologies evolve, more sustainable solutions become available with the use of eco-friendly processed nanomaterials for the construction of nanocrystal solar cells. And in particular, the metal halide perovskite nanocrystal offers promise for efficient photovoltaic and photoluminescence materials too, due to its excellent optoelectronic properties such as high photoluminescence quantum yield, also close to 100%. So it's a versatile material for both application, solar cells, and so harvesting the solar light and photoluminescence, so for the emission of light.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. That is really interesting because my field of work was completely different from what you're doing. So I find this extremely fascinating. Yeah, it does make sense, and I'm definitely looking forward to all the knowledge that you're going to share on
Oh,
the Twitter account because that's also for me personally super interesting. So Sophia, it sounds to me that right now your research is super cool, of course, but also in the past you have been involved in some really cool research projects. And I know this question is tough, but I'm still gonna dare and ask that. If you have to pick one research project that you're most proud of, or the most quirky or fun one, could you pick one research project and explain it to us in simple words in the section we call In Other Words?
yeah. That's a really nice question because I'm very proud of this project because, as I told, perovskite is the most promising next generation photovoltaic technologies in
Mm-hmm.
solar cells. But the current limitation is the low stability in ambient conditions for both the material and the device. So in one of my projects, I achieved excellent results by improving its stability and solar cell performances
Mm-hmm.
while reducing also the temperature processing. And because I fabricated solar cells with enhanced stability, with an efficiency that it's maintaining for hundreds of hours in environmental conditions, approaching the industrial stability standard. So this is very promising because we improve and overcome the limitation of perovskite materials that because it's very vulnerable in ambient condition, and for a solar cells this needs an effort to be improved because the solar photovoltaic technology are exposed in ambient condition under the heat, sun, water, and then this is a very big um, achievement and goal in my career.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. That sounds cool. I can imagine why you picked this as the research project that you're most proud of. So is the work published also?
Yes, this work is published. There are several work published on this topic. One of these work is published in HES Energy Letters, another in Advanced Energy Material, because I'm following this topic. So, in particular, I'm stabilizing the perovskite with the addition of an external additive. Then
Mhm.
this external additive could confer different properties, and as this is a very big topic, we are divided the different aspects in several papers, but two of them are already published, and more are coming. So
Yeah.
stay tuned.
Okay, okay. Well, congratulations on this big achievement. As you said, this is a big achievement. It's a big step forward in the solar cells research. Um, all
Yeah.
right. So thank you for sharing that and explaining it to us in super simple words. So Sophia, it's clear that also before we started recording, we talked a bit, and I have a feeling you really like the aspect of being a scientist, the research aspect. You really like doing that, getting your hands dirty, so to say, not literally in the lab. You love that part, but in other than research, what other aspects of being a scientist do you like or do you enjoy?
Okay, this is a great question and popular one. I
Mhm.
think on the whole, the best things about being a scientist is that not two days are the same. There
Mhm.
is so much variety in being a scientist, and I don't think anyone would ever say that it's a boring job.
Mhm.
So I obviously work in the lab doing experiments. I teach students for other experiment. I present my findings, attend meetings, write up my results for publication, apply for findings, attend conferences, and also you have to develop skills as problem solving. This is very fun part of
Mhm.
our work.
Mhm.
But okay, the other amazing thing about being a scientist is the rewarding aspects of doing it, knowing that your research may change people's lives one day.
Mhm.
To be honest, this is very exciting, and is probably what drives a lot of us to contribute something back to the world.
Mhm.
So there are many things I love, and I named just few. Like
Mhm.
also, I can say that I love we work with a great team of bright people, and meet so many different people through my research and my university. Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah,
Okay.
I get to travel and visit the different labs, so this is very cool.
Mhm.
People respect me and tell me I'm clever, but I don't know if I feel like it. I just feel normal. There are many things, many good things. Too many for listing.
Too many. Well, I'm glad that you love research, but other than that, you also love these other aspects, like numerous other aspects of being a scientist. So you love your job. This is great. We need scientists like you who love their job and who are actively going to the lab. Well,
Yeah, I'm doing a job that I enjoy doing, a job that I wake up wanting to do, and I leave at the end of the day being glad that I came to work on that day and
mhm.
make this fun experiment, for example.
That is amazing. I can imagine that excitement. That sounds amazing. So, I have another question for you, Sophia. So you can answer it in two ways, or whichever way that you prefer. If you were to go back in time and starting your scientific journey today, what advice would you give yourself, or what advice would you give to researchers who are starting out today, so to say? They're starting their scientific journey. What is your advice?
Yes, my first advice is use the early years of your career to learn as many techniques as you can,
Mm-hmm.
because it's very important to have a technical competencies.
Mm-hmm.
Also, make sure that to learn the basic concept in relevant disciplines, because but also always with a critical mind, because this is important to have this basic knowledge to start, especially as the PhD path. Um, then, while you're a PhD or postdoc, it is important to not confuse working hard with working all the time. It's
Mm-hmm.
important to work with a great effort of concentration, but not long hours of routine work. This is this is my suggestion, because it's always something that happens to PhD students that work a lot of hours, but it's also very important work-life balance. So I suggest work hard in the sense of great concentration, but not long hours of work.
Mhm.
Also, it is very important to learn how to write papers at the beginning of the career. It seems like time consuming for the first publication, and you can delay the publication at first, but then it is rewarding.
Mhm.
And above all, I can say that to be successful in academia, if this is my advice, is to you need persistence and preserve the creativity. So find a solution to problem that has not recipes yet.
Mhm.
So being creative and be willing to take risks, and doesn't matter if the step could be not correct in that moment, but is closer to the truth.
Mhm.
So these are all my advices for young people. Yeah.
Okay, so you just opened all the box of Pandora, the
Yeah.
advices from Sophia. No, on a serious note, all these advices that you gave, like learn as many techniques as possible, learn how to write papers, be persistent, quality of work time over quantity of work time, extremely important. Communicating, exchanging ideas with people around you, not just your colleagues but also friends, sometimes, because you never know where the out of the box thinking comes from. So yeah, thank you very much for sharing all of these advices with us. And I hope, Sophia, your research experience so far has been wonderful and will continue to be wonderful in the future as well. However, if you had three wishes to improve your research experience, what would you ask for? And I'm not promising here anything here, okay?
Oh, this is very difficult question.
Sorry.
Um, okay, if I have to wish something for my career, I just want to just okay. I would gain a project, for example, for my independent research. This is
Mhm.
very big wish. Then, if I have to think big, I will become, for example, one of the first women as teacher in a majority male department. This is to reduce the gender band gap. This could
Mhm.
be very nice for my career. I'm thinking big.
Yeah,
So
yeah, absolutely.
and also learn how to recognize a quality idea, quality student to carry out our research together. This is also another important aspect that I want
Mhm.
to learn.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Well, all three wishes extremely, I would say, real, like they I hope they become reality soon, that you get your independent research, funded research project, just you, it's Sophia's show, you get to decide how it works and who is partnering and how it goes. I hope that works, and also that you get this permanent position, that you become the first woman teacher in,
Yes,
in
I was thinking big and very big. So the
Well, it is achievable. I mean, it is still achievable. It's not out of the reach. I believe that it's not out of the reach for you. And also learning to recognize the quality idea. I mean, this is like an ongoing thing, right? It's like it's getting better and better every with every passing month or year. So, well, I wish I could just do this and being like, okay, Sophia, tomorrow when you wake up, you have your project, your funded project, you have your permanent position, you are the teacher in your department, and also these are the quality ideas that you can work on now. I wish I could do that, but I would like to believe that it's achievable and it will happen in a few years time, and then you can feature on our podcast series Under the Microscope again and tell us all about
yeah, I will
how
come back to you
successful.
with my progress, and we will make another podcast together.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, Sophia, this has been wonderful speaking with you. But before we let you go, one last question that I have for you is, well, the year 2020 was interesting, to say the least. We all learned some things, unlearned certain things. What are your learnings from the year 2020?
Yes, this year, the past year was terrible for some aspect. This year has certainly highlighted the importance of building strategies for handling change in our research models.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we needed to learn the new technology, and all the group needed to be trained in the latest programs to be connected and working from home, and will also help with the productivity in every day. This was incredibly useful because we didn't stop to work, so the technology was the fundamental aspect in that here, but also we learn that the communication is very important. For example, practice transparency, understanding, and compassion for our staff across all the level, from our PI to the the student that came. We learn that the communication is very important, and to be transparent is the secret, let's say. And but also we learned that we can keep going after this change, when we can be resilient and productive, and we can manage program to don't stop our activities. Because whether or not this change are here with us, so we have to force to adapt to working from home, socialize digitally, and maintaining physical distance. But we have to continue and go ahead in our work. So yes, according to me, we learn to adjust our work process, and we learn that this is possible, and then and also that we can have also great results.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm. Okay, okay. Yeah, thank you very much for sharing those learnings. You're absolutely right. Yeah, well, this has been wonderful, Sophia. Thank you very much. Again, thank you very much. And looking forward to having you on Real Scientist Nano.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. To know more about us, please visit our website realscientistsnano.org and follow us on Twitter at realsci_nano.